Hello and welcome to another episode of the Iron Meditation, the art of living and lifting. I'm your host, Coach Michael. So, one of the best Zen lessons I was ever taught was by my previous car. It was a small car, city car, Hyundai i10 with a small engine, like 0.9 liters, 64 horsepowers. And I hated everything about the car because it's not accelerated as I wanted and I expected to, and the fuel consumption wasn't as the manufacturer was promoting it. And I behaved with this car as if it was some like Ferrari or some other stronger car. I tried to push and I like pressed the accelerator pedal, like I abused it, being very resentful both to myself because like this is my fault of buying this piece of shit, and it's the piece of shit fault for being piece of shit and not being able to accelerate properly even in the city to escape traffic or like to make it for the light on time. Now I am a cautious driver, so while I talk like this, it's not that I was doing fast and furious in the city, but even those small jumps between the cars, if you really need to pass like big car or big truck that is parking, was challenging because the car is not fast. And then I took a drive. We have a city called Eilat. It's 3.5 hours drive, and I love the city very much. It's my serenity. It's my retreat city, and I love the driving because it goes through the desert. It's very peaceful. It's very calming, and from time to time I just go by myself for a couple of days. So I took a drive, and since I was on vacation and it was a hashtag me time, I said, all right, I'm not going to be pissed off. I'm not going to try to push this car because it cannot be pushed. Then, fuck it. I'll drive it for what it was. And it was one of the best and pleasant drives that I ever had. And eventually, ironically, I arrived quickly enough and I was able to accelerate and to pass other cars that move slowly, although they were objectively faster and stronger cars than my car. And when I came to light, I was very puzzled by it. I said, like, what changed? Like, what? Because the car is the same car. The car cannot be anything else but the car. And then the obvious truth hit me. The only thing that has changed was me, because I've accepted the car for what it was. And I've accepted the car for what it could provide, because it can provide anything but that. This is how it was assembled, with this weight, with this gearing, with this engine. This is the only thing I have. There is nothing else. So the only one that can change is me. And the moment I've really downloaded this truth and stop fighting and stop trying this, like, to change, to break the reality changed, because I was able to drive the car to the best of its own natural born abilities, which turned out to be pretty decent one. And I even enjoyed it. And I have enjoyed this car ever since. And when we found this peace between us, the car, it did amazing feats of strength because it took me and my kids and my family packed with baggage, climbing mountains and going like into the fields, like not to the jeep trails, but went to the sand and to campsites, and this did this all marvelous things with one minor and seemingly insignificant change. Me driving it as it meant to be drive. And The next step from there was pretty obvious, is to reevaluate everything else in my life, including my relationship with my wife, including my relationship with my kids, including my relationship to my work, with my everything, absolutely. And you know what? The moment that I accepted everything for what it was, because it cannot be anything else but this, and I said, all right, I will drive it, quote unquote, to the best of its abilities, I've discovered that it can be driven pretty damn fast and great. And it's changed greatly since. The other lesson that was taught by my car and by one coach I trained, he was training in my facility, was that we rarely ask ourselves the single most important question before any purchase or any other thing. What is the single important quality of a thing I want to purchase? And let's talk about laptops for a second. When you come and you want to buy a laptop, there are many: big, small, flat, thin, lightweight, pretty heavy, whatever. And we rarely ask, what's the quality I need? Because sometimes when the salesman get a good job, you buy a computer, the laptop, then you come home and you understand that it's small enough because you need a bigger screen because your eyes are heavy. And you work from home, so the keyboard is too small because you bought some businessman flat laptop, which is amazing. It just doesn't serve you. So basically what you bought is somebody else's life. You bought a dream, a perception of somebody that you are not. Because you never ask the question, what is the single most important quality? Same with cars, same with relationships, same with everything else. So when I go shopping now for the laptop, I understand that the single most important quality, a couple of, is the size. I want it to be convenient to travel with because this is my new reality. And my old laptop, which is amazing and great, is big. Okay, it has a full keyboard. I can travel, but it's not comfortable. It's like Jack Nicholson as a Joker in the first Batman. If you remember, he's taking this huge revolver, endless, out of his pants. This is how I feel while taking my big laptop and to my flights. And I want something smaller, lighter, that I can carry without feeling and pop out in every coffee shop on regardless how small the table is, because I need the coffee, my mouse, and the laptop, obviously. Okay, so this is most important quality. I care about nothing else. Okay, not the processor, not the memory. Well, I do, but the setup is common, and you get where I'm getting with this analogy. Same for everything, for the cars. If I know better then, I would have bought a car, a small car, which I aimed for originally, but with the ability to accelerate. However, I haven't thought about it. I never asked for it, and I got what I got. I got what I asked for. So beware what you wish for or ask for, unless you do your homework and you ask yourself first, what feature I am going to buy this particular item for? And then it's very easy to pick the one that is best for you. And the second one is obviously that the thing in your hands cannot be anything else but the thing in your hands. So, well, you better accept it first and learn how to use it to the best of its abilities. And same goes for our lives. This is the lives we have. They cannot be anything else but our lives. And I mean in this current present, in this time that we live. So the only thing that can change and learn how to drive our lives is ourselves. And this is what I'm wishing you, to enjoy the ride. I'll see you in the next episode.